So in today's lecture, let's start off prior to the Prophet's death. Let's go back a few days before the Prophet leaves this world. There is an incident that is known as the calamity of Thursday. We know the Prophet passes away on a Monday or a Tuesday, so this is literally just a few days before the Prophet dies. It was a Thursday. The Prophet was on his deathbed in his house. His companions had gathered around his bed. And they were all there to listen to this man as he's about to leave this world. The Prophet turns towards his companions and he says, "Oh my companions, can you get for me a pen and a paper?" He said, "Why, Rasulullah?" He says, "So that I may write for you a will, or I may write for you a statement, that after my death, you will not go astray. So as long as you adhere to this statement, you will be safe after my death. You will not go astray." Some of the companions said, "Okay, yes, of course, Ya Rasulullah, somebody get the Prophet a pen and a paper." Yes, some companions, we prefer not to name, but some, or one certain individual would turn towards the Prophet and he would say, "Hasbuna kitab Allah. The book of Allah is sufficient enough to guide us. We don't need this statement from the Prophet." So the companions began to quarrel with each other. Some started arguing, saying, "Give the Prophet a pen and a paper. He's our Prophet." And the other group was now saying, No, don't give him a pen and a paper. The book of Allah is enough. We don't need to do this." This man then takes one step forward and says, "The Prophet is delirious. The Prophet is ill. He's overcome by grief. He's overcome by illness. He doesn't know what he's saying." We need to remind this person that the Quran says, وَمَا يَنْتَقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيًا يُوحَىٰ. Muhammad does not speak until I have revealed revelation unto him. So if the Prophet is saying, "Give me a pen and a paper," it's not the Prophet saying it, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying it. And when this man is turning towards the Prophet of God and he's saying that Hasbuna kitab Allah, he's questioning the Prophet and then saying, no, the Prophet's delirious, leave him alone. You can see that the revolution or the rebellion against Amir al-Mu'mineen had already begun, and the Prophet is still alive. He hasn't left this world yet. And just for the purpose of the recording and for those that listen to this lecture, this incident has been narrated by Ibn Abbas within Sahih al-Bukhari in the chapter that's talking about the saying of the sick, volume 2. And it's also in Sahih al-Muslim in the end of the book of Al-Wasiyah, volume 5, page 75. Also in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, volume 1, page 335, and has also been narrated in Tarikh Tabri, volume 3, page 193, and also in Tarikh Ibn al-Kathir, volume 2, page 230. We give these references because you don't want somebody to turn around and say that you Shias are making things up, or you Shias don't know what you're talking about. We're answering you from an academic level. So this was the first incident that happened.